Nairobi, 2010. A father sends money over M-Pesa to save his son's life. The transaction goes through. His son is already dead. That single mobile money transfer is what finally brings down a man Kenyans will come to know as one of the country's most disturbing killers, a man who told police he was trying to reach 100 victims. This is the case of Philip Onyancha. Before he was a name in the newspapers, Philip Onyancha was, by most accounts, unremarkable in the best way. Born in 1978 near Kericho, in Kenya's tea-growing highlands, he grew up on his family's tea farm. Teachers at Changoi Primary School remember him as well-behaved, above-average academically. He went on Kenyatta Mahiga High School, a respected institution, where he did well in class and played sports. Nothing on paper predicted what came next. Onyancha later told investigators a different story about those years, that while a student, he was pulled into a cult, that a teacher instructed him to kill 100 people and drink their blood as a path to success. Police were never able to verify this claim independently, but it became the explanation Onyancha gave again and again and again for what he had done. By his own account, and by the account prosecutors would later build, Onyancha's killing spree began around 2008 in Nairobi. His targets, according to police and witness testimony, were often women, some of them sex workers, some simply vulnerable and alone. His method, they said, was to get close to them first, befriend them, then strangle them. In some accounts, his own, he claimed to drink their blood afterward. One of the earliest cases tied to him was Jacqueline Chepng'etich Misoi on May 30th, 2008. Her body was found hanging in her flat at Mount Kenya building on Kombo Munyiri Road. At first, it looked like suicide, but witnesses placed Onyancha at the scene and questions began to build. For 2 more years, he wasn't caught. In 2010, Onyancha kidnapped a 9-year-old boy, Anthony Muirori. He demanded ransom. The boy's father, desperate, paid through M-Pesa, Kenya's mobile money transfer system. But Anthony was already dead by the time the payment went through. That transaction left a trail. Police traced it back to Onyancha and arrested him. He was 32. What happened next stunned the country. Onyancha did not deny it. He confessed, not just to Anthony's murder, but to killing as many as 19 people, most of them women. Some reports at the time put the confessed number at 17. He led investigators to multiple crime scenes across different towns where decomposing bodies were recovered, confirming in the most horrifying way possible that his story wasn't fabrication. Kenya had never seen anything quite like it. As the case moved through the courts, a new question emerged. Was Onyancha legally sane? In 2011, consultant psychiatrist Dr. Freddy Kowiti examined him and produced a report suggesting Onyancha suffered from residual schizophrenia, a condition the court was told may have driven the killings. He was facing 3 separate murder trials, criminal cases 36, 37, and 38 of 2010, and the court ultimately ordered a full panel of psychiatrists to assess him, since his mental state was central to all 3 cases. Onyancha, for his part, later pushed back on the insanity narrative. He asked for bail, insisting he wasn't insane, but he was a family man with 2 children and that he would comply with any conditions the court set. The request highlighted the strange, unresolved space he occupied, a self-confessed killer whose own legal team, at times, argued he wasn't responsible for what he had confessed to. The Misoi case, the 2008 killing that first connected his name to a body, did not reach a verdict until July 8, 2021, 13 years after her death, 11 years after his arrest. And when the ruling came, it wasn't the one anyone expected. Justice Jessie Lesit acquitted Onyancha, citing insufficient evidence. And she did not stop there. She directly criticized the police investigation, calling out what she described as disheartening omissions. Among them, investigators never traced a phone line Misoi used to call her father the day she died. Despite Onyancha having been arrested with a phone and SIM card connected to a separate ransom demand, and the crime scene photos showed a blood stain on the victim's door that was never followed up on. The pathologist who examined Misoi's body had already told the earlier trial that he could not determine whether her death was suicide or murder, and found no bite marks, no physical evidence to support Onyancha's own claims of blood drinking. Onyancha's defense, for its part, was simple. He said he had never met Jacqueline Misoi and had never been to the area where her family lived. The acquittal spared him the death penalty in that case, but it wasn't the end of his story. 2 other murder cases against him remained open. Philip Onyancha's case sits at an uncomfortable intersection. A confessed killer, credited by police with leading them to real bodies and real crime scenes, and a justice system that, by a judge's own admission, failed to build a case solid enough to convict him of the crime that first exposed him. It raises a question Kenyans are asking, not whether Onyancha did what he said he did, but whether the system built to prove it was ever equal to the task.